If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out.
Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is March the 1st, 2023, and today the topic is confusion. Yes, y'all, happy new month. Happy new month. And first, let me start by saying my apologies, y'all. I know I am technically late. I clicked the button at 6:45 and whatnot. Again, not that I think that people are waiting at 6 a.m. to hear, but, you put something out there, you say you're going to do it, it behooves us to do it. Now, at the same time, though, I do be letting the spirit lead, so, but I'm just acknowledging that I know it's after time and everything like that. But here I am, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, here to give the juice. So, I hope that you guys had a great day yesterday. Mine was just fine. I guess Terrific Tuesday or something like that. I just ended up going to hustle in the streets a little bit yesterday morning. I wrapped up around noon because I was like hungry and I had forgot to bring my water and all that type of stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna head on home. And so I did or whatever, and ended up going to Aldi's on the way home or whatever, and stopped out there and got a few things from the grocery store. And then, came on back home, had a little time, and ended up watching Little Bear with NJ. Took a good old nap, and then it was NJ's class time. He participated in that. Ended up having a good conversation with my husband and whatnot. He introduced me to this really cool but like also interesting AI chat thing. Which was very interesting to like have a conversation with artificial intelligence and whatnot. I even woke up this morning and asked it a few questions or whatever. I did ask it, who is Jesus? I asked its opinion on Jesus, which it, pretty much probably told me that it couldn't have one on him or any religious figure. Then I asked it about me. I was like, who is Miraculous? And he or it, whatever, was like, oh, I can't know every person, da 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 da. And I just was like, well, who is Miracle Sims then? Because, my whole thing was like, I figured that it would at least look up whatever's online about me. I don't know. But that must have stumped it because it stopped. It stopped answering or whatever. And who knows, that's probably the Lord as well telling me, hey, Miracle, get focused on what we're supposed to be doing here. And everything like that. Because it did cross my mind as well. Like, one of the things I guess I've neglected to share in this moment about yesterday is that, while I was out there hustling in the streets, I was listening to my homegirl Dana Ray. Y'all know, how I feel about good old Dana Ray and whatnot. So shout out to her. She just really is an inspiration when it comes to like dream interpretation and things like that. Obviously she takes time to research and whatnot, and I do too, but maybe again, I do feel like I need to get better in that area. So who knows, like that could be one of the reasons why I listen to her frequently. And I feel like, there's a lot of things that hit home. Like, I do think she's talking to a particular person, like, especially, perhaps single women and things like that. But, I feel like there's some stuff that she says every now and then that hits home for me, right? Now, her past few videos, she's been talking about fasting, XYZ. I know I shared with y'all last week, I think when I came across the video. and whatnot as well. But here's my thing. And this is what I was seeking the Lord about yesterday. You know, just because someone says something doesn't mean it's always for you, right? And just because a group is doing something again doesn't mean like that it's for me to do. Um, at least in my humble opinion. I'd ask the Lord to correct me if I'm wrong, but um, based on some of the things, obviously I want to be, take heed, be prepared, get wisdom, whatever the Lord wants to show me and have me to do in this season. But I feel like as I seek the Lord and as I get confirmations, it's not necessarily, sharing with me to do the same things as what I'm hearing Dana say, and maybe even some other YouTubers or whatever the case is. And so here's the thing for me. And again, y'all good. I ask the Lord to correct me if I'm wrong. And again, take this with a grain of salt because I'm just another voice out here. I haven't even proclaimed to be prophetic. I think I joke about it more so than anything. I mean, I do see things every now and then, or I do have dreams every now and then, things like that. But I don't proclaim any title, honestly. I'm just again another human that's studying what I believe to be the Word of God, which is the Bible, X, Y, and Z. And so, so with that being said, all I say is, I guess, if you're listening to me this morning, and if you're struggling in this area, as I am, or were, or whatever the case is, then I hope that you guys are encouraged and inspired to seek the Lord for yourself in regards to wisdom and what He wants you to do in this season, because it may look different from what somebody else is doing. And that's okay, right? That's okay. I mean, I feel like as long as we're aligning ourselves with Jesus Christ and letting Him lead and guide every aspect of our life and things like that, then again, just because Dana's journey may look like this and my journey looks like that, don't mean that to me, it means that we're on the path, on our own individual paths. So with that being said, there was a moment of confusion yesterday because I was listening and I was seeking the Lord and I was praying, but at the same time I just was like, Lord, I still don't feel a confirmation that this is for me. I said, maybe, you got to give me something more, or whatever the case is. And I felt like just as I was praying or whatever, I kept noticing numbers and I kept noticing this and noticing that. And so, but then when I would look those numbers and stuff up, it would be like annihilation and detriment and all these like crazy words like that. And I'm just like, I guess not feeling settled in my spirit about what I was receiving and stuff. And I think that's the problem with asking for a sign, right? And I'm receiving that in this moment. When you ask for signs, right? God ain't the only one hearing you ask for signs. So who knows, those signs that felt like I was getting or whatever the case is, could not have been from the Lord at all, So, so just saying, I think seeking the Lord and I guess getting into the quiet place, however you need to do that. If you need to fast, do that by all means. If you need to, again, take a break from social media. I don't think there's anything wrong with what Dana Ray was sharing, especially if it's needed for particular people that are struggling in these areas that she's talking about, things like that. But thus far, again, like I said, I don't know. As what I'm believing and receiving from my household is that we, and I've been trying to get confirmation from my husband and whatnot too. I'm like, hey, well, husband, I mean, can you pray with me about this or whatever? Because I don't want to miss it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, get the word from the Lord to put the blood on our doorposts, right? And then we don't do it, and obviously, things like that. I want to be wise and be, let the Lord, protect us and everything like that as well. Because I'm hearing the things that are being said about things to come, and things like that. I mean, about stocking up, and things of that nature. But the interesting thing, every time I feel like stocking things up, it's not necessarily anything like what these people are talking about. Like, the only thing that I feel led to stock up in this season at this moment is like things for my business, which is weird. I don't know. I mean, well, maybe this will lead to me being able to get some funds or something. Like, I don't know. So if maybe I'm off, or I don't know. But what I'm saying is I'm sharing it because at the end of the day, I guess that adds to this conversation about confusion. Honestly, Um, there was a few things on my heart and mind this morning, and I think that probably led to me being late as well. Um, but ultimately, this conversation of confusion, settled in my heart and mind in regards to what to talk about today. So, because I've already talked almost 10 minutes now, I think I'll share the rest of other personal things in the after show. Let's go ahead and get into the juice, okay? So, when my heart and mind was settled with this conversation of talking about confusion, these are the verses that stood out to me to share. 1 John 4:1 says, "Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. For many false prophets have gone out into the world." Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is just reiterating what I just said in regards to seeking the Lord for yourself, allowing Him to, lead you and guide you again in all aspects of life, so that we can use our discernment for what the Lord wants us to do and everything like that. And again, like I said, there's nothing wrong with, you know, something for me in my life being different than something for you in your life. Like, maybe it's not God's will for our family to stock up on tissue, maybe we're going to be the one that's stocked up on canned products, right? And so then when, say for example, our community has to come together and whatnot, like, if the whole community, everybody got tissue, I mean, that'll be great for when you have to go to the bathroom, but it won't help our hunger. You see what I'm saying? So, you just never know, like, when it comes to things like this. I mean, I think, again, yes, there's something to using wisdom and taking heed to prophecy, or taking heed to wise words, or however you want to look at it. But I just like I believe that God hasn't given us all the same spiritual gifts. Is perhaps He's not giving us all the same tasks and whatnot as well. Again, yeah, maybe we are supposed to stock up in this season, right? Maybe we are supposed to, make sure that we're covered, because who knows? Maybe there is a famine on the way. Maybe there is more pestilences and all these type of things as well. But I think, seeking the Lord for what He wants us to do as individuals is wise, at least in my humble opinion. But y'all can go ahead and, go deeper and figure that out for yourself. So, let the Lord show you, basically, is what I'm saying here. Let the Lord show you the wisdom in that. Now, 1 Corinthians 14:33, it says, "For God is not a God of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints." I feel like I shared this verse recently. I don't know if it came across, or we came across it yesterday when we were sitting here chatting about, the other things that I would see, the deceptive half truths, or maybe it was on Monday. But either way, God is not a God of confusion. Yeah, I was definitely in confusion yesterday, listening to everything, and then also praying, and then also feeling like I was receiving, some confirmations in regards to numbers and this, that, and the other. But then I would look up the number, and then it wouldn't be anything good. And it's like, not that I expect everything to be good, but it just didn't settle in my spirit. I didn't have peace about what I was receiving, and so I just kept on seeking. And I just like, well, Lord, help me, give me a bigger confirmation or something that will confirm in my heart and mind that that's your will for me. Now, hey, all I know is when I went in the grocery store, I didn't necessarily feel led to stock up on any of those type of things again. It was more so getting, some food items and whatnot. I mean, I guess using wisdom, because I, obviously was tempted with the temptation to just go to a drive-through or just go to get some lunch or something. But instead I went to go get groceries or get some more groceries and, whatnot. So, yeah, it's just something to think about when it comes to all of this. And ultimately, again, I guess that's how right? If you have confusion and all of that, then, it may not be from the Lord, but if you have peace, X, Y, and Z, then it might be. Now, hey, you might not be able to take that with everything, because you might have some peace about sin. So obviously, if it lines up with the word of God, that's another way to compare and contrast, as they say. But yeah, just something to think about, y'all. Just something to think about overall. Now, listen. 2 Corinthians 2:7 says, think over what I say, for the Lord will give you understanding in everything. So, obviously we can go deeper with that and see what else is around that verse. But I think the verse alone speaks volumes. Again, God will give us understanding in everything if we seek him, right? And everything like that. So, yeah, we can go deeper, y'all. There's plenty of verses in the go deeper section to peruse and let marinate on your hearts, souls, and minds. But I guess ultimately I want to leave you guys with these last two verses. And to me, it sounded like a prayer. It sounded like, I guess the request that we can make of the Lord in this season. And hopefully it will not just encourage and inspire us, but like keep us going and help us to face all these confusing things head on. And this is what it has to say. Psalm 119 and 169 says, let my cry come before you, O Lord. Give me understanding according to your word. And then Psalm 119:34 says, give me understanding that I may keep your law and observe it with my whole heart. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Did you know that you can support us for just 99 cents a month? That's right, friends. You can support everything that we do here at GSL for just 99 cents a month. Take a look around wherever this post is. You might see a link or maybe even a button that says support. Go there, check out the options, consider supporting us because, we enjoy bringing you all the daily inspiration as well as the weekly talk show, but we have much, much more to come. Thank you so much for the consideration. Bye-bye.